Here's the flywheel, clutch, diaphragm, clutch disc, and it has just one bearing in there. And I also cut a slot for a key to go on it after it's all together. And I have two nuts here, double nutted together with a thread locker. Okay, so now I'm going to assemble this so it's all one unit, and then I'll slip this whole thing into the bell housing with the spline and the transmission and all that. Okay, before I put it together, I'm going to put some JB Weld mechanics epoxy type stuff around where the bearing is going to face. So you mix it 50-50, and then this is going to go right above these nuts here. And this will prevent any bearing clatter or anything. Keep the bearing tight. Okay, before I put the bearing on, I'm going to put a little bit of this wax mold release stuff on the inside of the bearing, just so it'll be possible to take this thing apart again if I need to. Okay, now I'm just going to push this down here a few times. Kind of compress that epoxy junk. Okay, first this goes on, then this goes on. And now this goes on. Notice I cut all these holes for all the bolts to go through. We've already done that. This goes on, and then finally I'm going to put this on. When I push, now I'm going to bolt all these together. Okay, got all those long bolts through. 1/4 by 20 stainless steel. Okay, I fastened nuts and washers on the other side of those bolts. So ring, 5 of them here, and there's 9 down between the flywheel and that plate. So it's kind of going through like this. Looks like it's going to be really strong. Okay, now this whole unit here, flywheel and everything, it just pops right into the bell housing and transmission spine, like that. Okay, I got these 1/2-inch stainless steel threaded rods, and I'll be cutting them down to whatever length it's going to be needing to be. And these are going to go through there's 4 of them, another one here, and it's going to bolt right to the bell housing back here. And then this is going to be holding the electric motor onto this, and then I'll have some sort of hub here to connect the two. Here's a forklift motor. It's a DC type motor. It doesn't have any permanent magnets, just really thick coils. It has big brushes, and I've already put this in the car, and it could go 55. It was decent performance. It draws a lot of power. It's 36 volt it's rated at, and 400 amps. When you go up a hill or you start from stop and the engine's only turning like 10 RPM, it's going to draw about 400 amps, but otherwise it's about 80 amps minimum, like at idle, and then around 100 to 200 amps usually driving around. I want to put this onto here, onto the transmission and clutch, run this for a little while, take some measurements, and then put my other motor on there and see how much better that one is. Here's the hub I've got here. It's not finished yet, and I was thinking also about putting a little Moeller generator motor on here too. There's room for it. I don't know if I'll get to that, but so this is what's going to go into that right on top of there. So I need, okay, I got the threaded rods in. There's a bolt down here, bolt here, bolt here, bolt here, and now I have another plate that the electric motor mounts to, and that's going to bolt up here. So the threaded rods are in. This thing is mounted to the bell housing in the transmission.